Alright, so thank you very much. We are moving on to adding the functionality to our authentication, right? So, and now that we have the login page over here, right? What we want to quickly do is add the functionality. Okay, so first of all, I want us to create the function, and that function should be the function that when we click on this sign in with Google, it opens up the pop-up for us to basically um, uh, open, select our account and then get the login details and then finally show the home page, right? So in order for us to be able to do that, I'm quickly going to come to my login here, okay, and I'm quickly going to const handle login, okay. Going to quickly handle login, and then we're going to do that. Open this. This has to be an asynchronous function. Then here we have the arrow. This is a mistake. Okay. Then inside here, handle login. So this handle login basically is going to be set around here. So I'm going to say on click. Then for the on click, I'm going to handle login for that, right? And then I'll quickly go back up to the top here and check my mic. Okay, it works. Alright, so for the login, we know that this is the function that we are going to be using basically. Alright, so we set up Firebase basically in our previous video, and this is a firebase.config.ts that we set up and everything. And I remember that we used the get auth and then provider, we exported them both, right? So as long as we've done that, I think we can move on. So inside this function, what we want to do is we want to have a try catch block basically. So try, I want a snippet to show so that it becomes fast. Okay, but it looks like it's not showing up. Okay, it's here. So try catch block, then we log out the error basically. Log out the error. Alright, I'm going to save this. Okay, so inside the try block, what are we trying to do? We want to make sure that we are signing in, right? So we can basically await. We can use the sign in with pop-up. The sign in with pop-up package that comes with the Firebase auth, right? But since it can't seem to import that, I guess we have to import that ourselves. So I'll import the sign in with pop-up sign in. I don't even have to complete it. Like I told you before, there's a trick to do that. You make sure that you complete the import statement, that is the package. So I would say firebase/auth, right? Then when I go back here, I can be able to import whatever I want to import without typing in the full thing with what pop-up. Okay, so now that I have sign in with pop-up here, I can basically use that. So I can say sign in with pop-up here. Okay, and then inside the sign in with pop-up, we will pass in the auth and the provider, right? So we'll say auth, of which we exported, of which it's still not here. So I guess you have to get that from our config file. So I import auth and provider. I don't even have to type the full thing like I told you before. Let's end the statement, and then I'll say firebase.config, so auth and provider. So even if you're not sure that it works, if I hold control and then I hover over this, we should have like a link that will take us there, right? This, I don't think this is the, or I'm coming, 1 second. I need to make sure that the path is correct. One second. Okay, I don't know why the PC is being slow right now, but okay, let's just maintain what we have for now, and if we test it and run through any errors, we just fix it ourselves, right? So over here we have the auth and the provider that we are passing through. Okay, so it looks like everything is back to normal. I need to make sure that this is the right path. Okay, yes, it is the right path. All right, so now that we have both of these, right, we have awaited it. Okay, now we want to basically use a toast, right, the React toast, or basically we can use the toast from shardcn, right? So how are we going to use that? I'm quickly going to go into shardcn, and I will show you how I install the toast. So basically you have to copy this and then paste it. You have to paste it. Let me delete this. So you have to paste it here inside the terminal for it to be able to install, right? So you just paste it and then yeah, you install. But I already have it, so I'm not going to install it. I'm just going to end it. This me having it already is basically an action of me re-recording the video yesterday because of the microphone issues and everything. But yeah, let's just continue. So over here I have my toast. So the toast, I'm going to take that toast from I can't use it right now. Basically I'll have to come here and const what the toast object, and we are taking this from where? We are taking it from use toast, right? I guess okay, yeah, it's here. Okay, so now that we have that, I want to use this toast object that we have. So under here I would say toast, and then this toast is basically going to have a description, right? So a description key. Okay, so the description, and then I would say what you are now logged in. Alright, this is cool and okay. And then right after we've been able to successfully log in, we want to make sure that we are routed to the home route, or the home screen basically. So in order for us to be able to do that, I'll just say const navigation. So I'm going to store the use navigate over here. So use navigate. Okay, it looks like it's not importing automatically, so I guess we have to do that on our own. So I would say use, I don't even have to complete it, just from react router DOM. So use navigate react router DOM over here. Then I'll close this. Okay, so if I save this, we should have it nicely done, right? Then over here we can quickly use it down here. So I would say what? I would say navigation to navigate. Let's make this navigate instead, so that it makes more sense. Navigate. Then where are we navigating to? We are navigating to the home page basically, right? So now that we have this working for us, I want to quickly handle the error. Now how are we going to handle the error? Now what we're going to do is I'm quickly going to just copy this and then paste it down here, right? Then over here what we're going to do is we're going to set a variant. So I can quickly come here and set a variant, and then say the variant should be destructive, right? And then we can add a title to title, and then we can see that something went wrong. Okay, so now that we have that, we have the description. We're just going to change it a bit, and then see there was a problem with your requests. Okay, so I'm going to add this comma so that error leaves. Then over here in the action, we can add toast action, and then that toast action is basically going to come from our React toast, right? So we can take that from the basically from the Radix UI. We could also take it from the component UI toast, right? So I mean, you can basically select any of them. So with the toast action here, we can add an on click, right? You can add an on click, and this action is basically what you're going to click on for you to restart the request or resend the request, right? Then we would pass in the handle signing, basically handle signing. Then over here, who put this comma there? Definitely not me. So yeah, we can pass in the alt text, right? And then we say that is what, try again. Then we can close the component like this. Okay, it looks like it's still not closing, but can basically close it ourselves. Toast action. Okay, what is going on? The PC is just a little slow. Again, check my mic. Okay, it still works. So inside this section, I'm wondering what the error is. It says yeah, I realized the mistake. Okay, so this place has to be, it's a component, right? So yeah, I forgot. It has to be a bracket instead. Yes, I forgot. So this toast action, yeah, then I pass in try again, right? Okay, so now that we have this all set up how we want it to be set up, basically we can basically try it out in general, right? Okay, it looks like the handle sign-in is not taking. It's handle login. Right. Okay, handle login. That's awesome. Alright, so now that we've been able to set this up, we can basically test it. says okay, it says the Firebase couldn't resolve the firebase.config. Okay, still okay, this is weird. Let me scroll down. Oh, what is wrong? PC is a little slow. I'm trying to get the location. Okay. Then I'll say firebase.config. This is crazy. This was working. Okay, let me clear this. I'll clear this and I'll say, but how come when I hit this I see these bad boys here? Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, let me go down. Should be able to select from here. Okay, yeah, right. So now we have the firebase.config here, and so everything should be working perfectly. Why is it slow? Okay, it's here. So I'm quickly going to click on this. It's going to bring out the pop-up. Then we select the account that we want to use. Okay, then we continue. Then right after it's done, it takes us to our home page. Okay, so we can basically set up something very similar to this on our sign up as well. Okay, so in order for us to be able to do that, we just take you can basically copy out the whole thing. In general, we can basically copy the whole thing and just drop it in there, right? And just change the name and other things. So we can basically copy this whole thing and send it here. And yeah, we'll go into details when it comes to integrating it with a database and stuff. But for now, I just need us to understand how these things work, right? Especially when it comes to signing with Google with Firebase. And so yes, let's just do this. Okay, replace that. And then yes, this one helps us to check for the case. We need to match case, right? So I'm going to now go lowercase and also change anything that has to do with lowercase here. So I would say okay, and then okay, so there are no results to change. So yeah, if we go to the sign up part, is it sign up? Did I use sign up? Okay, yeah. And we basically click on this. It's basically going to do the same thing in general. Alright, and it's going to take us to the home page. So we'll go into details as time goes on. So now that we've been able to work on this, we want to now go to our app.tsx and then we want to do a few things, right? We want to handle the protected routes and make sure that we only get the home page when the user is logged in, and show the login page when the user is not logged in. And I'm just doing this, just so you understand how things work, right? And then, like I said before, go into details, so we might change a few things as time moves on. So over here, I'm quickly going to npm I. So npm install what? React Firebase hooks, I think. Is it React Firebase hooks? Yeah, I think, yeah. React Firebase hooks. Then I'm going to install that. So React Firebase hooks is basically what should help us work with Firebase but a React application, and that's what we're going to use to get our user state. So in order for, while it's installing, let's set up this. So I'll take const, and then I'm going to take the user object basically, and I'm going to store it in this array, and I'm going to use odd state, right? I'm going to use odd state from that package, but it's not here yet, so let's just set it up. When it comes, then we use it, right? So basically, now that we have this user here, what we can do is we can write our condition, right? How do we? Yes, and I forgot one thing. The reason why we didn't see our toaster in the first place when there was a success is because we didn't add the toaster, right? So how we are going to add a toaster here is we create this empty component here just to open up that space for us to add the toast, right? Okay, so it's installed. We can now add it. It's not showing for us to add it, but let's import it ourselves. I would say from React Firebase hooks /auth, then I would say what? Use auth states, right? So it should be defined now. Okay, so over here we can basically add our toaster. So I would say what? Toaster. Okay, and then I can just close that. So anytime we add a toast, it should definitely show up on top of our component. Alright, so now that we have this, over here under the routes here, we can write our condition, right? So we can check for the users and see that if this user exists, right, I need you to render me this component. Which component is that going to be? I'm going to go to the login, cut that and paste that in here. Okay, then over here I'm going to basically open this one up. Basically going to open this one up. And paste that in here as well. Okay, so looks like over here we need to add an empty component. I'm going to select this, and I'll paste that. Okay, so it said cannot read the properties of undefined, reading the current user. Okay, that is home. That is weird. Who is asking for current user? Okay, this is just weird, asking for current user. Auth coming. So I'm quickly going to go back to the login. I want to go to the login here. Why is it being slow? Oh yeah, this was a mistake, so I'm supposed to use this one instead. Oh, that's right. So yeah, I'll just paste this and then everything should be okay. It says, so when I go to home, I should be able to see it. Why? What's wrong? Current user. Who is asking for current user? This is just weird. Let me comment this out and try to import this. It looks like it's not being imported incoming. I forgot to pass the auth. Sorry about that. Forgot to pass the auth. Alright, so it works now. So now that we've been able to set this up, what we want to do is we want to set up our user component so that we can see the user that is logged in, right? So in order for us to be able to do that, we'll come here to the components and then we set up a component called user.tsx. Then inside this user.tsx, we would have to use our RFC to create the user. Then down here, we are going to have to create the user component. Okay, so inside this div here, let us add a drop down menu. So let's say drop down, right? But as you can see, we are not getting any snippets that is representing a drop down, and as you can see over here, there's nothing like this here that is showing in our UI, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to have to import that from our shard.cn. So I'm going to click on this and go down. I'm going to scroll down. So drop down menu here. Let me check my mic. Okay, it's working. So as you can see, this is how the drop down works. I'm quickly going to copy this and then paste it here. So while it is trying to install, let us just add our components, right? So we have the drop down menu here. And then this drop down menu is basically going to have to create another one here, and then inside we have the drop down menu trigger. So drop down menu trigger, and then we say as child. Then over here inside, we're now adding our avatar. So there's also another package that we'll have to install called avatar, and we can check it out right after I am done with. Okay, so inside the avatar here, we can check it out over here. If you scroll down and click on avatar, you can see that this is it, right? This is the avatar component that we are going to be using. So inside this avatar, you're going to pass in the avatar image, avatar image, and then over here we pass in the src, and the src is basically going to be the user object, the photo URL that is signing with Google, that URL that we're going to get. So we can actually set that up here. We can set that up here. I would say import what let's just try to use it here and see. So const what user, then inside here we say use auth state, and then we pass in the auth. Okay, so here quickly going to alright, so should work. So now that we have this user, we can pass in the user dot what photo URL, looks like our package is not being installed. I'm going to quickly cancel it and then reinstall it again. Okay, let me quickly reinstall it. So while it's being installed again, let us so over here, after we have the photo URL, we also want to add a check, but let me close this. I just close this. Then over here you want to add a check, right? So we want to say or undefined, or else we would get a typescript error, right? So over here we would add the avatar fallback, and the avatar fallback basically is if you're using a simple HTML element, basically you realize that what you use as the alt text in your image element, that is the avatar fallback. So over here I'm going to pass in the user dot display name, then under here I'll pass under the trigger here. I'm basically going to pass in the drop down content. So drop down content, you're not going to have any width yet. So over here inside the drop down content we can add a class name, of width, width being 56, and then inside this drop down content here we can have the drop down main label, drop down main, and then inside we can pass in my account, inside here we can pass in the drop down separator. So we just drop down separator, then we close this out. Then under here you can add a drop down item, okay. This is a little weird. The drop down item should actually close up, and then okay, I guess you're going to have to create our own thing. Drop down item. Right, so inside here we pass in the logout, so pass in logout basically. So we can say logout, and then that logout is going to come out from Lucid React basically. I think Shatian is the one that is providing that for us. And then inside here we pass in a class name of margin right being 2, and then we have the h being 4 and a width of 4. Then under here we create a span and say create a span here and say log out. Alright, so now that this has been set up, what we have to do is import the user component that we have inside the home screen here, right? So over here we can have the user being imported. Alright, so we have the user being imported like how we wanted. So basically what we want to understand is that we have the user here and everything, right? I don't know why still our package hasn't been installed, but I'm going to quickly walk through the video and I'm going to quickly walk through the video, explaining how things work, and then start implementing them. Then once this package is installed, I'll come back and preview the results, and then we see that this actually works. Then we move on. Alright, so let's move on. So I'm quickly going to work on the logout functionality here. So this drop down item that we have as the logout, right, we want to add an on select. So whenever we select it, we want to make sure that it performs a certain function. And what function is that? We want to make sure it handles logout, right? So for the handle logout in this situation for the handle logout, we just const we just create the function. So const handle logout. What? Handle logout. Handle logout. Then inside here we have an async. Then inside the async we have inside the async we have try catch. Yeah, the try catch here. So how do we work with this? Let's just log out the error. Log out the error, and then over here you can await the sign out. So you can see that we await, and then we pass the sign out, and then we just pass in this function to it, right? So inside here we do not pass it like this. We await sign out and pass the auth into it, right? So we pass the auth. Okay, so now that this is there, I think I need to import this also. Yeah, I think I need to import this from Firebase auth. So I import this, and then we have this. Then we pass in the toast. So we say the toast should come from this one, from the use toast, like this one too as well. And then we can basically just start using it. So here we can pass in the description and then say that you have been logged out. Alright, and then we navigate, right, using use navigate. So use navigate, we can import that, and then we would use it here by saying const navigate, and then we are going to store use navigate. Use navigate, and then inside here we pass in navigate. Then we navigate to where? Login. Alright, so basically our drop down has been added successfully. We want to add the avatar too as well. Let's add the avatar too as well. Need to copy this and paste that here. I don't think this is going to install anytime soon. I'm copying this, pasting it again, hitting enter. Then we can now import these bad boys. So we can import the drop down menu. So import it from this place. Import this bad boy too as well from here. And we import this bad boy. Okay, we do not have him installed yet. It's installing. And we import, okay, we already have this one. We import the content from here. Then we import the label from here. Then we import the separator from here. Then over here we have the item. We import that as well. Okay. Then over here, okay, we already have the item. Then okay, so avatar 2 has been installed successfully. We already have the content. Oh yeah, I think we did import the content. So the only thing left is the avatar. So let's import the avatar, and then image. Then import the image. That's weird, it's not coming. Let's try to import the fallback. Okay, the fallback also seems to be wasting time. But we can basically import them separately. Right, so for the avatar here, we can copy this part. Okay, it's here. Then here we passing. Okay, I think we imported label, right? Yeah, we already imported that. I'm wondering why we still have errors. Okay, the fallback wasn't imported. Okay, should be imported by now. Right, so we have this working. I think we already have drop down item. Alright, drop down separator, drop down item. We have them all now. Let us go to the place. Okay, nothing is showing still. I'm sure it's because we have an error somewhere here. Let me check the problems. It says okay. Okay, and then item, okay. I'm sort of confused and do not know what is going on, because this is what is supposed to happen. So under here we have the drop down menu content having the width. Then down here we have the drop down menu label, which is the account, my account here. And then what else do we have? We have the drop down separator here, and then we have the menu item. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to remove them. I'm going to remove them and then add them again. In fact, let me add them from here, and then let me add this one too from here. Okay. Okay, looks like that one didn't work. Let's add it from here. Still didn't work. It says children. Let me check. So I'll check. I think label. I think that was like item. I think. I'm going to check the item. It says it doesn't have children. Export. Okay. Okay. Don't know what is going on there, but it's just a little weird that we are getting this error. I'll just remove the item from here. Remove the item, and I would say we can basically go to the documentation here and then check out the drop down menu documentation that we have. Okay, so I'm going to go to the drop down menu here and then come down to the docs here and say, so this is the drop down item. This is a drop down item that we have, as you can see, and then we are taking all of them from here. Right now, inside the drop down item, you can pass in you can basically pass in another item inside, another child inside, right? So that's what we are basically doing here, and I'm wondering why we still have a problem. Okay, so I just added that. Let me add an on click. Okay, we don't have on click, so on select. Okay, that could be the issue. That could be the issue. So what I'm going to do is basically I'll try to add this, the on click here. I'll add the on click here. So I'll pass this and paste it here, and then I'll remove this, and then you'd see it says what? This is weird. So looking through the documentation, this is the exact same way we're supposed to use it, and it's starting to feel weird here. Let me remove this and see. Still didn't do anything. Let's go above here and then remove the item and use it here and see. Okay, now we are good. This was hectic. So yeah, you can skip through and get to this point if you don't want to see how I debugged this. So now that we have this working, we need to check through the console and make sure that we do not have an error, because it seems the page is not showing. So I'm quickly going to check the console, and it says fail to. Okay, so this is, so all we have to do is, okay, so it says what? avatar.js x. Okay, let's quickly bring this down and then restart the server. Okay, alright, so we can quickly restart the whole thing, and then we should have everything running as we expect it to. Okay, it's just a little weird. We are not getting any error. Check the app.tsx. Okay, we have the user being imported. Okay, so as you can see, this is what we have for the user, and when I click on it, you can see that we have my account here, and then we have these parts here as well. Okay, and it's looking weird right now, and I think that's because we didn't import the components from the right package, right? So I'm quickly going to just come here and then try to import them through here instead and see what happens, because right, so things are working as we expect, and this is awesome. Okay, so right, okay, so yes, this is basically how it is. If we test logout and we log out here, okay, it says there are no routes matching login. So here we have sign and login basically, so it should work. We're navigating to login, that should work. Sign out, that's weird. Let me restart it. No routes matching the location. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm supposed to navigate to login, but what? So I'll just try it again one more time. Okay, this is a little weird. It says that there are no routes. Okay, it's here. I think that's because the user object still exists. So I'm just going to log this out. Yeah, the user object still exists, And so over here we were supposed to add this to the item and not, we don't have an on click tool as well, but that that is what the main project has on it. So just add the on select and add this function to it. See how it pans out. So it's going to remove this, and then okay, so it works. It works as we, so it works. The initial setting that we did worked, and I guess Shatian had a few problems with its packages, but at the end of the day we were able to walk through it and get to the end of the authentication video for now. So in the next one we'll basically work on how to add the dark mode, the dark theme and the light theme, basically how to be able to switch through the themes. Thank you very much for getting to the end, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.